Hello everyone and welcome to my basic interaction demonstration. In this video I will show you the next content I will be releasing on the Unreal Marketplace, which is basically an interactive element which is pretty simple but pretty powerful. You may use it to interact with any kind of object and triggering whatever it is you want, and it will be sold under the name Basic Investigation. Because I actually used this component to create investigation games, and I will show you how it's done and how you can use it and add it to your project. So first of all, what you need what you need to keep from my objects are this interact interface, the interaction display, and the interactive element. As always, you will see that some are quite simple. Interaction display is very simple. The interactive element is quite simple too, but you will see that it's very powerful, and you may be able to change it to do whatever it is that you specifically want him to do. Oh, and one last thing you will need inside project settings input. You need one input, it's called activate. I set it on E, but you will need this if you want this project to work. Of course, the project demonstration will work, but if you want to import this inside another project, you will need to have this input. The whole system is made to work without changing the player class. So it's really meant to be implemented in your project, whether it is a first-person or third-person shooter. And I will show you how it's done. So what we want to do in the game is to have objects that we can interact with. When we get close to the object and we look at it, we have this we have a message that is brought into the screen that would tell us what kind of interaction we can have with the object. And we want this object to be able to switch states so that it can be used multiple times to do different things. And also I created this object so that you can use it with a lot of different interaction. So it's not like you put it and it will be a door that open and close. It's more like you will put the object, then you will put the door, then you will create a matinee and linked all of that in a simple and I hope clever way. So how does it work? So you have this object, okay, it's called the interactive element, and this object has default properties. So it has the properties active, so you want to change this if you don't want this object to be active at first. It has a defined number of states, which are called interaction types. So on each interaction type you may change what is displayed. I basically type E because that's the kind of letter you want to, because that's my input. But if you want to change this and I don't know, maybe use it according to your game, you can change it in another way, and you simply state what kind of interaction this is. So when the player look at it, it knows that in pressing E it would turn off the light or turn on the light. It starts with the current state. That's the starting state of the object, which will always be basically 0. It is composed of a sphere and a cube. So you may adjust the sphere size by changing this, and the cube size by changing this. It works quite well. The purpose of the sphere is that when you enter the sphere, you are able to interact with the object. And if you plug vision-centered interaction here, if you say that it's true, you may interact with the object only when you are in the sphere and when you are looking at the invisible cube here. So that's why you may want to have the cube a little bigger than the actual object, so that in the game, as you can see, it works even if you're looking too much down, you don't see it, and here the cube is supposed to be inside the center of your screen. And it's a cube so that you can do that with the door. You see, as long as you're looking at the door, it works because I changed the size of the cube. Alright, so you have those elements. Okay, but what does the interactive element is that you can use it inside your world settings, level blueprint. So it's there. So this is the interaction for the light. You select the object, you call object activated. That's this event there. You do a switch on int, and depending on the current state of the object, you may trigger whatever it is you want. So in that case, we take the same interactive element and we ask them to set his current state to 1, and if it was 1 to 0, so that means it keeps switching between both those states. And depending on the states, it will set intensity of the light to 0 or to 500. 5,500. So that this is the door, and it's kind of the same story. You just create a matinee actor for having the door move, and we just play and reverse that matinee actor. So that is basically the principle of interactive elements. I will show you a bit more in the next video how to use those elements to do more complex things, like creating different elements interactive with each other, and create an investigation game. That was Arnaud GL, seeing you on the next video.